Hi everybody. If you're into off-roading or just into cars at all, there's no doubt that you've already heard just about everything there is to know about the brand new Ford Bronco. This has to be one of the most exciting launches to come along in quite some time. Now I do think though there is one story that hasn't been covered, and that is, what do you get from the base Bronco? If you spend the least amount of money possible, what kind of Bronco are you actually getting? And then more importantly, how does the base Bronco stack up to the base Jeep Wrangler? So for all of you out there who are looking to save your pennies, this video is for you. If you do want the ultimate in off-roading from the Ford Bronco, Ford is offering the Sasquatch package. Now Sasquatch is cool because it can be adopted on any model across the Bronco range. So you can have a base Bronco with the Sasquatch package, or you can load it up onto one of those other trim levels. Now Sasquatch brings along all the best off-road gear. You're getting long travel suspension, 35-inch tires on 17-inch beadlock wheels, front and rear locking differentials, and a set of Bilstein dampers. So this is really, again, making this thing totally off-road ready. And once it's loaded up with Sasquatch, the Ford Bronco pretty easily beats out the Wrangler Rubicon in just about every area that matters: approach angle, departure, ground clearance. But that story entirely changes when we look at the base models. So now let's talk about the two base models, what they cost and what they offer. The Bronco is the more expensive of the two models. A base Bronco is going to sell for $29,995, whereas a base Wrangler Sport, you're looking at about $28,500, and that is both for two-door models. Pricing at that base end then is pretty close together, so now let's talk about what you get. And when you look at these two models on the base end, it's actually pretty clear that Jeep still prioritizes off-roading, whereas the base Bronco definitely leaves some off-road capability to be desired. So if you get a base Bronco, that is going to come with a set of 30-inch Bridgestone Dueler tires. Now with those 30-inch tires, the Bronco offers 8.4 inches of ground clearance for a two-door and 8.3 inches for a four-door. Those are not very impressive numbers for a vehicle that is said to be an off-roader. Now the base Bronco has an approach angle of 35.5 degrees. That's pretty good. A breakover of 21 for the two-door and 20 for the four-door. And then a departure angle of 29.8 for the two-door and 29.7 for the four-door. So those angles on the base Bronco aren't bad sort of in a vacuum, but then you compare them to Jeep. So if you get a base Jeep Wrangler Sport, you are still getting an approach angle of 41.4 degrees. That's an impressive number. Breakover angle on the Jeep is 25 degrees for the two-door. That's because the wheelbase is even shorter on the two-door Jeep than it is on the Bronco. And a breakover angle of 20 on the four-door Jeep. So breakover, you're still beating out the Bronco. Departure angle on the base Wrangler is 35.9 degrees for the two-door and 36 for the four-door. So in every single one of those angle comparisons, the Jeep is better. The Wrangler Sport is beating out that base Bronco. Now the Wrangler Sport comes with a set of 31.5-inch tires. So the tires are slightly larger. They're also fitted to 17-inch wheels, whereas base Broncos go 16-inch wheels. And then finally, the one number I think really matters, ground clearance on a Jeep Wrangler Sport is 9.7 inches. And of course, that is more than an inch better than a base Bronco. So once again, if you're looking at these base models, it's actually pretty clear that Jeep still wants you to go off-road with that Sport. Ford, maybe not so much. Another big difference here is the front suspension. The Ford Bronco uses independent front. The Jeep still uses a solid axle up there in the front. Now both of these models do offer disconnectable front sway bars, but at the base level you're not getting that, right? So that means the front axle is going to offer you more articulation than IFS, and generally probably be a little bit better off-road, but there's a trade-off. Going with the independent front means the Bronco on-road should definitely offer a much more confident and calm ride than the Wrangler does. So that's just another example of a spot where Ford kind of prioritized on-road more than off. If you go for the absolutely loaded Bronco Badlands, sure, it's an off-road monster, but again, we're not looking at that. Here at the base level, the Jeep is still more off-road focused. It's not just about angles and ground clearance though. How about the engines? Well, the base Jeep Wrangler is still offering that naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6, which makes 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. You can get an 8-speed automatic with that engine or a 6-speed manual. At Ford, you can only get turbocharged engines, and in the base Bronco, you're looking at a 2.3 liter turbo 4-cylinder. Now, that engine offers 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. So the Bronco is a little bit down on horsepower compared to the Jeep, but it offers more torque. The Bronco also has a row your own option, as you can opt for a 7-speed manual. Or if you skip it, you get a 10-speed automatic. Touch on manual availability. It's too bad that in the Bronco, you can only get the manual on the smaller engine, and you can't get it with the Sasquatch package. So you will not be able to get sort of the ultimate off-road Bronco with a manual. At Jeep, you can only get the manual on the 3.6 V6, but that does mean that the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, with all the best off-road gear, is available with a standard transmission. It is obvious that Ford benchmarked the Jeep Wrangler for this Bronco. That was the product that they were really looking to take down. And when you consider that, it's no surprise then really to learn that a Bronco pickup truck is apparently also in the works. Now, we don't know exactly when this is going to arrive, but it does sound like something around 2024, maybe 2025, before we see a Bronco-based pickup truck. However, according to reports online, this is definitely happening. And now I want to hear from you guys, because Jeep brought out the Gladiator. It's done well so far. We like the Gladiator here at TFL, which means that a Bronco pickup would probably be pretty cool too. So what do you think? Should the Bronco come out as a pickup truck? Let me know in the comments below. And speaking of availability, we still have some waiting to do just for the regular Bronco. Ford says that we should expect these models to begin deliveries by spring of 2021, but new reports are suggesting that some orders are already pushed back all the way to 2022 because Ford did receive quite a few pre-orders for the Bronco. So it sounds like we're going to be waiting a while to actually get our hands on this thing, but you know that as soon as we do, we're going to bring you the best content possible on it, and I just can't wait to get out there on the trails with a Bronco and a Wrangler and see how things really shake out. So everybody, that's it for this video. Go below, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the base Bronco versus the base Wrangler. In a way, I do think these base models are just sort of a blank canvas for you to buy and then build up yourself. But you know what? If you're looking at the two of them, Jeep offers a more capable blank canvas than Ford does. There's no doubt about that. So let me know what you think of these models. As always, while you're down there, hit like, hit subscribe, and then come right back to the channel for the latest news, views, and real world reviews. See ya.